the moment after a Frontier Airlines plane killed a person who was on a runway after jumping a perimeter fence at Denver International Airport on Friday night, is captured in air traffic control audio. "We just hit somebody," the pilot tells the control tower after halting Flight 4345's takeoff. "We have an engine fire."
And the Royal Navy is sending a warship to the Middle East where it could join an international mission to safeguard shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. HMS Dragon, a Type 45 destroyer, will pre-position in the region ahead of its potential role in what the Ministry of Defence, MOD, described as a strictly defensive and independent mission.
Tehran, Iran, as the United States awaits Tehran's latest response to texts for an agreement being exchanged through intermediaries. Iranian authorities and state-linked media are emphasizing that they consider control over the Strait of Hormuz more important than ever. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghaei told reporters on Saturday that Iran was still reviewing Washington's proposal. Qatar has sent a large shipment of liquefied natural gas, LNG, through the Iran-controlled Strait of Hormuz, which is now headed towards Pakistan, according to a Bloomberg reporter. Shipping data shows the LNG tanker Al-Karaitiyat is currently navigating toward Pakistan, becoming the first serious attempt to export Qatari LNG through Hormuz since the US war started in late February.
And the Sindh government has announced advance payment of salaries, allowances and pensions for Muslim government employees and pensioners ahead of Eid al-Adha. According to a notification issued by the Sindh Finance Department, full pay, allowances and pensions for May 2026 will be released on May 20 instead of June 1.
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said on Saturday that Pakistan can neither be intimidated nor subdued by any aggressor as the nation marks the first anniversary of Marka-i-Haq, last year's confrontation with India, beginning with the April 22 Pahalgam attack and the subsequent military conflict, which resulted in a resounding victory for Pakistan until the ceasefire on May 10 is now referred to by the state as Marka-i-Haq, Battle of Truth.
Islamabad. The PTI has demanded the formation of an independent judicial commission to conduct a transparent, impartial and credible probe into the events of May 9 to bring the suspects to justice. The party has termed May 9, 2023, one of the darkest days in Pakistan's political history, when former Prime Minister and PTI founder Imran Khan was arrested from the premises of the Islamabad High Court. He is currently incarcerated in Rawalpindi's Adiala jail, where he is regularly denied meetings with family members and party leaders.
And media watchdog Reporters Without Borders, RSF, has condemned Niger's suspension of 9 French media publications as the military government continues to crack down on journalists. Niger announced the suspension on Friday, citing repeated dissemination of content likely to seriously jeopardize public order, national unity, social cohesion, and the stability of the institutions of the Republic. And in an increasingly AI-driven and digital world, analog instant film and retro-style cameras remain popular, fueled by a combination of both nostalgia and charm. Instant cameras in particular and stand out for their simplicity and an experience that has remained largely unchanged over time. Fujifilm's $175 Instax Wide 400 builds on the familiar instant photography experience and expands it with a wider format. And as someone who appreciates simple, easy-to-use instant cameras and often shoots with an Instax Square, I was interested in trying a model that offers larger prints and support for landscape photography. And dozens of candidates scheduled to appear in the Federal Public Service Commission's FPSC General Recruitment Test Phase I 2026 were left stranded outside exam centres after staff at some venues reportedly appeared unaware that tests were due to take place. And one of the main scenes of confusion emerged outside Ali Abbas Shahid Model College in Islamabad's G62 sector, where candidates gathered after arriving for their scheduled exam, and only to be told there was no clear information about any test being held there that day.
Punjab schools and colleges may begin summer vacations earlier than usual as the provincial government reviews the academic calendar amid rising temperatures and heatwave concerns across the province. Punjab Minister for School Education and Higher Education Rana Sikandar Hayat said the government is considering starting summer vacations from May 22 and reopening educational institutions on August 2.
And a well-known bakery in Islamabad's Blue area was reportedly raided by the Federal Board of Revenue, FBR, with the outlet also said to have been temporarily closed to the public. The bakery in question is Tehzeeb, one of the capital's most recognizable food brands, and news of the reported raid quickly spread on social media, where customers also began sharing pictures of receipts and tax charges.
Israel is set to release two Gaza-bound humanitarian aid flotilla activists who were abducted by Israeli authorities. A rights group has said Saif Abu Keshek, a Spanish Palestinian, and Brazilian Thiago Avila will be freed on Saturday, according to a statement from the rights group Adala, which was representing the two men.
And a person has died after jumping an airport fence in the US state of Colorado and being struck by a Frontier Airlines plane, according to authorities. Denver International Airport said the unusual incident occurred late Friday after the unidentified individual gained access to the tarmac. And in the occupied West Bank, a marathon is a political statement. Palestinians ran alongside the separation wall today, a structure that cuts them off from their land, their families, and even the sea. Al Jazeera's @Layla.shw reports from Bethlehem.
Nvidia continues to be a major investor in the AI ecosystem, committing more than $40 billion to equity investments in AI companies. And that's just in these early months of 2026, according to CNBC. Much of that total comes from a single bet, a $30 billion investment in OpenAI. But CNBC reports that the chipmaker has also announced 7 multi-billion-dollar investments in publicly traded companies, most recently deals to invest up to $3.2 billion in glassmaker Corning and up to $2.1 billion in data center operator IREN.
And Palo Alto startup Zyphra has introduced Xia18B, a new reasoning-focused mixture of experts language model with just over 8 billion parameters and only 760 million active parameters. Despite its relatively small size, Zyphra said the model delivers competitive benchmark performance against GPT-5 High, DeepSeek v3.2, as well as Claude Sonnet 4.5.
Huawei has introduced 2 new smartwatches designed for children, the Watch Kids X1 and Watch Kids X1 Pro. The devices were announced globally during Huawei's innovative product launch event alongside the Watch Fit 5 series, Watch Ultimate Design Spring Edition and Watch GT Runner 2 Racing Legend Edition.
And Hyundai Nishat Motors is set to launch a special edition of the Hyundai Elantra 1.6 in Pakistan, with the company scheduled to officially announce pricing details on May 12, 2026. The automaker shared the announcement through a teaser posted on its official Facebook page.
Mohammad Abbas claimed 5 wickets to restrict Bangladesh to 413 before 2 debutant batsmen combined to put Pakistan in a strong position in the first test on Saturday. Opina Azanawais hit an unbeaten 85 and Abdullah Fazal, also playing in his first test, was 37 not out as Pakistan reached 179 at stumps on the second day in Dhaka. Hungary's new Prime Minister has officially been sworn in, almost a month after he swept away his predecessor, Viktor Orban, in parliamentary elections that brought an end to his 16 years in power. Peter Magyar, 45, who leads the centre-right Tisza party, propelled into office on promises of change after years of economic stagnation and strained ties with key allies under Orban.
And Bahrain's Interior Ministry says it has arrested dozens of people in the country accused of belonging to a group linked to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. The ministry announced the arrests of 41 people in a statement on Saturday, saying legal proceedings are underway against them.
Major new development projects have been approved in Lahore, including a 5-star plus hotel built to international standards, as CBD Punjab pushes ahead with fresh commercial expansion in the city. Among the key projects is the Regalia, a luxury residential scheme that is expected to become one of Lahore's flagship high-end developments. The project will be built on a 7.1 canal plot in the CBD Cade district.
And a new scientific breakthrough has raised hope for completely curing type 1 diabetes after researchers successfully prevented and reversed the disease in mice. In the study, scientists treated mice by transplanting donor blood-forming stem cells together with insulin-producing islet cells. The approach created a mixed or chimeric immune system, meaning the immune system became partly donor and partly recipient. And Pakistan's rising squash star Mohammad Ashab Irfan continued his impressive run at the PSA World Championships after defeating Switzerland's Nicolas Müller in the opening round. World number 48 Ashab, showing excellence, control and confidence, secured a 3-0 win over world number 31 Müller with scores of 13-11, 11-9 and 11-0. And Sense has introduced the GX Ultra, a new 27-inch gaming monitor with a dual-mode mini LED display that stands out for its unusual resolution and the ability to hit high brightness levels. The Hisense GX Ultra uses a glass-based mini LED panel with 2,304 local dimming zones. Hisense said the monitor uses its Obsidian display technology LEHUT along with a zero optical distance backlight design that places LEDs closer to the LCD layer to improve contrast and reduce light bleed.
Workers at a Samsung chip factory have been on strike over issues related to unpaid overtime and bonus payments. Estimates cited by the Financial Times suggest a full-scale strike lasting the planned duration could cost Samsung between $6.9 billion and $11.7 billion in direct costs. However, Samsung Electronics management and employees in the company's memory division have reportedly made progress in negotiations over bonus payments and wages.
And Instagram has discontinued its most secure form of direct messaging on Friday, 7 years after its parent company Meta first introduced it on Facebook Messengers in 2019. End-to-end encryption, E2EE, is a method of relaying information which allows it to only be viewed by the sending and receiving devices.
Australia's far-right One Nation party has captured a seat in the country's House of Representatives for the first time, according to preliminary election results. Dave DeFarley, a former agribusiness consultant, is on course for a decisive victory in the special election for Australia's southwestern division of Farrer, located in New South Wales State, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation reported on Saturday. Iran's Football Federation has said the men's national team will take part in the 2026 World Cup that begins in June, but demanded that joint hosts the United States, Mexico and Canada agree to its conditions amid the Middle East war. The call on Saturday comes after Canada refused entry to the federation's chief last month before the FIFA Congress because of his alleged links to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, the ideological arm of Iran's military, which it designated as a terrorist group in 2024.